We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
Greek philosopher Plato once explored the idea of reality and how the perception of the reality varies between people, with the world around them just as a perception of the truth. Peter Weir explores this idea through his 1999 film, The Truman Show, mainly through the character Christoph. Likewise, in the Wachowskis' film, The Matrix, this has also been explored through Neo learning of the world he lived in his life being a creation by machines to keep humans under control. Various stylistic features have been used to complete this, ranging from the colouring of the world around the characters, the costumes worn by people in the films, and even the angles used by the filmmakers. In both films, colours are shown to affect the audience's depiction of the settings, and to help show that there are different versions of reality. The Wachowskis employ the use of green highlighting being used in the Matrix setting of the movie to give the suggestion that the world is unhealthy, as the colour is able to suggest sickness, while colours of blues and greys are used throughout in what the setting is the real world. The blues are able to suggest power, trust and integrity. These variations of hues are able to be noticed throughout, but during the scene in which Cypher attacks the ship while on the phone to Trinity, the quick scene changes allow the hues to be noticed more easily.
Okay, thank you.
While in The Truman Show, Weir uses this technique very similarly, it's in a different nature. In order to suggest that Truman's world is unnatural, the use of overly saturated and bright colours is used, giving the area a too perfect feel. That makes the audience question how real Truman's world really was. The concept of the real world being a dark and dangerous place is also carried over from The Matrix into The Truman Show. In the interview scene with the director of the show, Christoph, we can see dark colours throughout his whole office building, with Christoph also wearing darkened clothing in comparison to other movements. This suggests that Christoph specifically has questionable morals and could have a darker life than other characters.
That's amazing!
Aspects of each character in both films have been designed in order to help support the idea of truth and perception. In this completed in a variety in different ways in order to suggest the different things about the aspects of the film. In The Truman Show, the main character Truman is depicted as a friendly, community-minded character. His name meaning trusty man, which is a major aspect of his personality since he undoubtedly trusts his idea of what real life is, which in the case of him is a gigantic town-sized set of a TV show. Truman's costuming is also able to support the idea of truth and perception. Through the majority of the film, Truman is found wearing prison-like stripes in his outfits, suggesting that he was imprisoned in both his mindset and life. This occurred majorly in scenes that occur after he has learned from Sylvia that the people are lying to him. In particular, when he is shown on the bus waiting for it to leave, even though it has broken down. While for the majority of the film he is shown like this, as he starts to escape from the world, he's shown in dark and dull clothing that matches the world he is trying to escape to. Neo's character is similarly depicted through his name and clothing, Neo meaning new or revived, because throughout the film there is a recurring idea that Neo is the revived form of the person who was once able to control the Matrix. The Wachowskis changed the clothing from Neo wearing typical office clothing with mirrored sunglasses being added to his outfits and darker clothing towards the end of the film. This change is symbolizing his change in character as he learns the truth from Morpheus, showing as he becomes a darker character with more hate for the world around him. Camera angles are also utilized throughout both texts in order to help convey the differences in the two versions of reality. In The Truman Show, Weir has used camera angles that represent the aspect of Truman's life that is broadcast on television. This is shown in various places throughout, with strange camera angles being used and soft focus to depict how the cameras are hidden from Truman. When Truman is attacked by his neighbor's dog, we can see the camera angled is looking downwards towards the dog, which suggests the camera may be hidden in his buttons without his knowledge. When Truman is in his car driving to work, there is also camera angles used to show a low shot of Truman from the area where people will presume a stereo would sit. Both of these scenes suggesting to the audience that these cameras are for the purpose of the TV show and showing us that he was unaware of his life being screened. In The Matrix, however, the use of camera angles is for the purpose of displaying how the truth and perception is not so clear. The Wachowskis use cameras to draw scenes together and give the idea of confusion of what is the reality. When Morpheus and Neo are first in the construct, a close-up shot of Neo is used while Morpheus is explaining, in order to show the idea of how Neo is confused by what Morpheus is saying. Through the use of this constant reminder of the idea of different versions of reality through these films, the writers for both The Matrix and The Truman Show have been able to convey the idea of truth and perception, and how other people's idea of reality can vary based on what they see. It has been constantly supported by the stylistic features that they have used throughout, in order to show this idea discreetly to their chosen audiences.